Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. I also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you would like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so got a good one here tonight on a Saturday night. So we're going to be building Kelvin's PC. So yeah, it's a little bit of something different. We got a different motherboard. I always love a different motherboard. And obviously, if you haven't seen from the description and the title, we have an RTX3080 Ti here for this build. So lots of good stuff going into this build, including a power supply with a 10-year warranty. So Kelvin will be able to use this like in his next PC build. That's one of the advantages of getting just paying that little bit extra and getting the one with a 10-year warranty, and then build. So pretty good stuff. All right, so let's get into it. So I'll go through the components here for our build. So we've got the Ryzen 9 5900X for our CPU, so 12 cores and 24 threads. We've got the ROG Strix B550-F gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. As discussed, we have the Gigabyte RTX3080 Ti Eagle card. We've also got a 1TB Samsung 970 EVO NVMe SSD. We've got 32 GB of Corsair Vengeance RGB RAM. And we've also got a Cooler Master Master Air cooler, some extra RGB fans, and as discussed, we have a Cooler Master, what do they call this one? Gold V2, fully modular power supply with a 10-year warranty, and obviously it puts out, what does it say there, the full 850 or 849.6 watts on the 12-volt rails. So definitely a true 850 watt power supply there. We've also got a 4TB WD Blue hard drive here to install. So it's going to be a really good build here tonight. So I'm pretty excited for it. It's always good. It's always good doing a 3080 Ti build. Alrighty, let's put a bit of this stuff away. Put this graphics card down to the side there. Have a look at this motherboard. So we got the standard Asus antenna. It sure is. They're so good. No, I was being sarcastic. We get some ROG Strix Go Fast. Nice instruction manual. And our CD. We need our CD. Because, you know, the heart and soul of every good gaming PC build in 2021 is a lightning fast optical drive.
Maybe you should start collecting them and do like a collage that you can hang up on your wall.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. What am I doing? I'm leaving the motherboard in the box.
I was like, why is he putting that back? I'm gonna need that.
Yes, we do. And I just want to check something quickly. Just bear with me a second. Okay, yep, alright. So, this customer's picking up and wants me to keep the boxes.
Ooh.
So I'll
Do not crush
the boxes. That's the thing I wanted to check. Alrighty. So let's have a look at what we get on this board. Okay, so this is the Asus ROG Strix B550-F Wi-Fi motherboard, and let's go around and we'll point out the main features on the board. So let me get a grip of this board properly. So we've got 12 pins of CPU power up here, so an 8-pin and a 4-pin. So obviously you don't actually need to plug in the 4-pin, so if you didn't have that on your power supply, this will run just fine with the 8 pins there. So not a big deal, not something that you have to concern yourself with. Just means that you won't have as much overclocking capability. So what have we got here for our power? 2, 4, 6, 7, and 2, 4, 6, 7. So 14 phase power here. We've got these nice direct touch heat sinks on our MOSFET VRM co-processors. No heat pipe or anything like that, so that would be the next probably pricing tier up on Asus boards. Obviously we've got our AM4 socket there. Up here we've got 2 fan headers, a CPU fan and a CPU optional fan. We've also got a 12 volt RGB header up here. Then around here we don't have anything. We've got some easy debug LEDs there that will come on and tell us what's going wrong with our computer and why it's not turning on. We've got 4 slots for our memories. This is dual channel memory, so 4 slots, 2 channels. Over here we've got a 24-pin ATX power. This is sort of the main power for everything else on our board. We've got a USB 3 front panel connection here. We've got 6 horizontally orientated SATA ports there. And then down the bottom we have our front I/O buttons, so our power button, reset button, plus our diagnostic speaker header here, all on this big one at the end. Then we've got another fan header here, so that's only a total of 3 fan headers so far. Then we've got 2 USB 2.0 headers, another fan header, so that's a total of 4 so far. Then what have we got here? We have a temp sensor pin and clear CMOS pin there. Then we've got a 5 volt RGB header, a 12 volt RGB header. And what have we got there? COM port debug header. And I don't even see a COM header. Oh, is that a comp? Is that it there? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. So down here we have what looks like our trusted platform module header, and we have our front panel audio here. And these gold capacitors here are audio capacitors. All this stuff around here is related to our audio. And then around the back here for the rear I/O, so we've got a little bit of sticky here to peel off. So we've got our audio obviously down here and close by to the rest of the audio stuff on the board. We've got our Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1 there. We've got a DisplayPort and HDMI port. These won't be active on this build because we don't have a CPU with onboard graphics. Also got Ethernet here. Looks like 6 USB 3 and above, including 1 Type-C, 2 USB 2.0s, and a flash BIOS button. And then that just brings us around to this stuff in the middle. So it looks like we've got a COM port header down here, which is very strange positioning. I could be mistaken about that. Might have to look that one up. So we've got 2 more fan headers over here. We've got dual M2 slots, so 1 and 2. Got our main PCIe X16 slot here. We've got 3 X1 slots, and we've got this other one here that's X16 length, but it's connected X4 of the way along. So you can see at the bottom, you can see the little connectors, and they stop about there. And so the rest of the socket there is just empty, so you can You could put your graphics card here, but it would only have about a quarter of the connections that it would require, so it would be severely bottlenecked in that situation. And that is all the main features here on this motherboard. So let's get started. Seems a bit quiet in the comments.
I was just thinking that. Oh, then just as you say that, and some people have commented. Ben says, Lily says hi to.
Hey Ben,
Lily.
hey Lily, how you going?
Kelvin says hey Tim, Chris, hope it was all going well. Hey,
Yeah,
Kelvin.
all going well. I was just sitting there, I'm like, it seems a bit quiet in the
Maybe
comments
people
tonight.
are holding off because you don't stop talking when you're doing the
I've
motherboard
got to keep talking. I'll lose my train of thought. Come on. I'm a human, not a machine. Alright, so we'll just start with the component that's in our hand, which happens to be our memory. There we go. So 2 sticks, 32 gigabytes. Don't crush the boxes. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? So with our 5950X, sorry, not 5950X, 5900X, we don't get a cooler. I think I was thinking about last night. Last time I installed a kit of this memory and I had problems with the XMP profile with a 5950X. So, with a bit of luck, that won't happen again tonight. Okay. Yeah.
Rosie says, I really can't wait to see this build finished. He wants to know what happened last night and that stuff up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened last night. By the time I realised what was going on,
No, it's
I
just
was
in the
pretty
other
much...
room and Tim's like, it just stopped.
Yeah, like I hadn't...
Okay.
It was really weird. The app that's sort of running my stream, it was working. It was telling me it was still broadcasting to both YouTube and Facebook, but both YouTube and Facebook were showing that the stream had ended, and so I pretty much got all the way to the end of the build until I realised that there was even a problem. So that's what happened there last night. So I'm really sorry about that. Hopefully it won't happen again tonight. Touch wood.
Ashley says you're ready for Christmas Eve. Well, it's not quite done. I'm not finished.
Yeah, Christine will probably do some more Christmassy stuff.
Tim hates decorations. I can't help myself.
So we
Not
have,
so much into Christmas as I am Halloween, though.
oh, don't get us started on Halloween. Holy shit. She's got songs she sings about it and everything, man. It's got to be your favorite, like, weird little holiday special event thing. So we're going to put the M2 drive in this bottom slot here. So then it'll be nice and easy on top of our graphics card to put in a additional M2 drive. Yeah. Oh man. I don't think I'd ever seen that movie until I met you. Like, I'd heard of it and I was always like, oh, that looks like a kid's movie. Okay. So I don't have to fuck ass around with this thing like I did last time, because I've done this exact cooler before. It's always a first time for everything, eh? Okay, so we won't be needing them. We'll be needing them, and we do need all this stuff. Yeah.
This is Australia is stolen Halloween from the USA. I guess it's making some kids happy.
Yeah, pretty much. The UK does do Halloween, so we could you could sort of make the case that
That's kind of original.
yeah, but no doubt Americans are the ones who have like blown it up into what it is, right? Mm-hmm. Trust it, take a yank to do that, right? No, I see. To me, I'm pretty cynical and like business minded. So to me, Halloween, and especially working in the FMCG industry, Halloween is just a commercial retail event that we've been trying in the industry to create and foster in the Australian marketplace for the last 10 years. And do you want to know what's really funny about it all? Well, not so much funny, like, it's funny depending on your perspective. It might also be painful. So you're all probably aware of a company called Mondelez. They own Cadbury. So as you know, Cadbury, lots and lots of chocolate, right? Now you've probably noticed over the years the size of the Cadbury Halloween displays in the supermarkets have been getting bigger and more extravagant as the years have been going on, right? So this has been a targeted thing. Mondelez has tried to develop and foster the event in Australia. So they're basically trying to create Halloween as a thing. It's not just their investment into stores. They're like sponsoring events and other bits and pieces of Halloween all around the place. It's like a big targeted thing for them, right? And so this is how it was planning out. This is a thing that's like decade-long plan, right? So they're planning it out, and the climax of it all was going to be 2020. 2020 was the year that they were going to make it like a massive, massive push and just get everyone in Australia into Halloween. And the rationale was because that was when Halloween fell on a Saturday night. And we know from the market data from like North America and Europe and stuff with Halloween that the biggest Halloween nights is when it falls on a Saturday night.
What about Friday night?
Friday night, yeah, but Saturday night is a big night because Friday night, yeah, you got other people doing other things.
Yeah, I guess.
And all that. Saturday night's a real party night. That's just what the data shows. It's big for Friday as well, and they would have done a similar push, but we had a leap year. So we went from having Thursday night Halloween in 2019 to a Saturday night Halloween on 2020. But we all know what happened last year in 2020. So the whole thing got canned. So this company and all these people have worked on this like for over 10 years to try to make this a thing in Australia. The big year for it, nah. Leap year, we missed the Friday, and then also you missed the Saturday night because of COVID. And so then you're back to Sunday night, which is once again less appealing because the kids have got to go to school on Monday morning.
Unless you actually lived in the community, like I used to when I was a kid out here, we actually used to do stuff for Halloween.
Yeah, but that's not the average place out in Australia. So but yes, that all happened. And yeah, it was essentially a big failure.
It's all garbage, just money waster.
Yeah, well that's really all it is, man. Like fundamentally. I worked in that industry for half my life. Yeah. I've seen it from all sides. I've worked at supermarketers, I've worked at distributors, I've worked at major companies that
growing up with like North American family and parents and all that sort of stuff. Kinda get brought up doing Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
Just the nostalgia stuff attached to that.
For definitely. It's just not a thing in Australia.
Yeah, no,
but
I get it, but I kind of like it though because everyone gets to have a little bit of a party.
Yeah, I've got nothing inherently against Halloween.
Tim?
Yeah.
Ben wants to know, did they release an iClock 5950X?
I don't think that's not released yet. That's coming. That's
I didn't
just
know about that.
that's just AMD, a counterflex at Intel from AMD.
Yeah, okay.
They're just picking out. They've probably got some silicon that's binned to the side as like really good 5950s.
Yeah, and they're like, what do we do with this?
They're like,
oh, Intel's doing some stuff. Oh, we'll hold on to this for a sec.
yeah.
And then we'll do something with it.
Alright, so then we just got these 4 offset bolts that go down. These are all insulated. So if you're tightening down metal onto a motherboard, you really should make sure that it's yeah, I know, right? I know. Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
really should make sure that it is insulated.
Sometimes I can't get the words out.
That happens to everyone, man. Have you seen some of Jay's 2 cents on YouTube? He does it all the time. He stuffs up his words. He's like,
Yeah, I see them. That's funny.
he's just a normal dude, man. That's just normal human stuff. When you do things live, you're gonna stuff up things from time to time. If you're too if you're too proud, don't.
Has to talk on a PA because I'm the only one in the department. They're like, oh, you sound good on the PA. What are you doing?
No, hang on. This isn't right. This one's not fucking right. Is that definitely right? No.
No. Wrong. Really like this board. I think you could only use this one once or twice before.
Oh no, I've used about 3-4 times, I think. It is relatively common. Being an Asus ROG Strix, it's not generally like the best price to performance, so it's not usually the first thing that I'll offer a customer. Yeah.
Kirby wants to know, I heard Queensland don't do twist wraps anymore, but down New South Wales they do it. Is that true?
They do.
Twister wraps. Ooh, no, I don't think. They
No,
have, because I
not
haven't seen that
at
for
KFC.
ages.
You're talking about KFC twisters.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I see them in New South, but I don't think I see them in Queensland.
Because we frequent KFC a lot.
Yeah, they.
Yeah. KFC is talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they don't do that in Queensland, unfortunately. So if you're in Queensland and you're trading one, well, you can't get one.
No, but they do. They do now sell all of the bacon and cheese zinger burgers with that orange supercharged sauce or whatever the hell they call it. So now you don't even have to ask. It's just like that. So that's pretty cool in my opinion.
I don't do super spicy, but I can understand people like that. It does sound pretty good. Whenever Tim gets one, it does smell good.
Okay, let's just make sure we get this the right way around. And can I fit? I can fit that that little tiny cable.
Yeah.
But I think I'm like literally like a centimetre too short for the other one.
Oh no. Do you have like a
I've got. There is this little fucking pointless thing that I've got somewhere. Yeah.
Kirby says his mate was telling him, but he didn't believe it until he had a look.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've seen them, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him for quite a while, I don't think.
It's definitely
Yeah, I'm just going to chuck the other one on this rather long extension cable because I swear I've got this other little stupid thing that's about this long.
Yeah, they're like, they've got red on them, don't they?
Nah, the one that I'm thinking of doesn't have red on it. Oh, hang on. Yeah, look at it. This. Look at this thing. It's so stupid. It's so pointless. But it's actually got a point tonight. So that says something, right? One thing I forgot about this cooler is it has screw bolts, not the usual wire arms that hold the fans up in place.
That one fell out.
Yep, see you later.
You're doing them the wrong way, that's why.
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you were trying to do it. Oh,
I'm like
coming out.
doing it the wrong way. What do you mean, man? There's
Why are you taking them off?
because I need to put the cooler on.
Oh, yes, I see. To actually get those bolts in.
Yeah. Because if not, it's on a real fucking shit angle. Yeah.
Actually, want to know if you were to leave some tips on buying a monitor, what would it be? A really good 4K?
Yeah, so one of the main things you've got to think of when you shop for a monitor is what sort of screen you want. Not yes, you've got to consider the refresh rate. Yes, you've got to consider the resolution, but there are sort of two main sorts of screens that you're going to find with like modern gaming monitors. So the first one is the curved monitors that you'll find.
They're pretty cool.
Some people like them. However,
I don't fucking like
it's a case of, do you like the curved aspect of it, or would you prefer a screen that was flat but more consistently bright and more evenly bright? And is that important to you? And what about how many colours it's capable of displaying? How important is that to you?
Someone like a photographer
Yeah.
would want as many colours that
Yeah.
they can see as possible.
Yeah, so
or even a video.
yeah, video.
Videographer.
Anyone doing editing and stuff like that, it becomes very important to get those aspects right. So you've got IPS panels, which are flat. They have really good even brightness at the back of them. So you could sort of think of them as your accuracy monitors. Another feature is called high dynamic range, or HDR, and that's how many different colors and stuff the monitor's sort of capable of displaying. Then you got things like your resolution, which is your 4K, 1440p. There's other ones there like the wide angle 1440p, which is like, yeah. There's all different resolutions that you can get, but the resolution isn't necessarily the quality. That's the thing that some people don't fully wrap their heads around, is that, yeah, like, resolution is literally the screen dimension in pixels, like length times height sort of thing of the screen. How many actual little pixels make up that screen size? So you could have a 4K monitor, but it could have really crappy like dynamic range, really bad refresh rate, etc., etc. And then that 4K one would be, inferior in many ways compared to potentially a 1080p monitor that was, had all of those features. So that's just a couple of things to consider when shopping for a monitor. Obviously, it's got to be something that you like the look of. It's got to have the features that you want. It's got to be the size and the price that's right for you as well. So it's just a case of weighing up the features that you want, making sure that you tick those boxes, and then moving on from there. But in general, if you're looking for a gaming monitor and gaming is what you want to do, personally, I would recommend right now, in terms of the price, the performance that you get, etc., etc., I would look at something that was 144 hertz plus, and also I would also make sure that it was at least 1440p. I would sort of, my thoughts on it is that 4K is kind of, it's just too taxing on the components. I'd much rather just run at 1440p and have everything running at a higher frame rate. So to me, just getting a good 1440p monitor is ideal. However, yeah, it's not for everyone. Like, some people really want the 4K, etc., etc. There's nothing wrong with that. It just costs you a lot more if you want to find the combination of features. Like, you want a 4K monitor that also has a 144 hertz refresh rate. That's going to be harder to come across, and it's going to be more expensive a acquisition for you compared to just buying an ordinary 4K 60 hertz monitor, for example. So definitely a few things to consider there. Generally, a lot of people who are attracted to 4K monitors right now, they're not after it for gaming. They're after the 4K because they're into video and photo editing, and they need the resolution for to work on the large file sizes that their cameras take. So what I mean by that is, you know, if you've got a camera and it's like an 8K camera, then all of the photos that it takes are like 8K size. And if you had a 1440p monitor, you'd have to like constantly like zoom right out from the image to like make it fit on the screen and stuff like that. So for professionals, they're like, you know, oh yep, I need 4K resolution, 8K resolution. But it's not because like that resolution there is not like the overall quality of the screen, it's just the size of the screen there. But then other features like HDR, refresh rate, screen type and illumination type, they're other features that people will look at. Obviously with gaming monitors, the latency, refresh rate, there's things like G-Sync and V-Sync that help with that. These are just other features that you can look for in a gaming monitor. So hopefully that gives you answers a couple of your questions there. And yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to just hit me up on Facebook. Yeah.
Ashley said there were 4K 144 hertz monitor for 700.
For 700, yeah. Yeah, just have a look through all those features.
How big is it? And Jared said, howdy Tim, Christine. Hey Jared.
Hey, how you going? Okay, that's all looking pretty good there.
Tim, John says you didn't mention if people hook up a 4K TV to their PC though.
You didn't mention if people hook up a 4K TV to their PC. Yeah, you can hook up a 4K TV. You can hook up whatever you want.
TV, or is that a monitor?
This is a monitor.
Oh. No, we did put it through the
Yeah, yeah. You can, yeah, you can connect. You can connect. This is the beauty of digital video signals, right? In this day and age, you can connect any screen you want to the HDMI display port outputs on your graphics card. As long as you got the right cable, it'll take any TV, any screen, any monitor will take the signal from your computer. The limitation with TVs is they don't have a high refresh rate. So you're going to be limited to 60 frames a second, even if your hardware's pushing out 500 frames a second.
Jesus, it's good for casual games. Once again, in 4K on single player game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, John, that's it. That's
4 hertz is for competitive gaming.
yeah, 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 100%. So yeah, if you're not, if the refresh rate is not important to you, you can absolutely use a 4K or 8K TV. There's no reason, like, I think that's probably one of those things that
165 hertz gaming monitor, and like, that's a little bit much. For
yeah,
our
yeah,
gaming,
we don't
just
really need it, but yeah.
I like it for my photos and stuff. So.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we've got the board prep there. That's all ready to go. So, luckily I found that little tiny pointless thing that actually ended up having a point. So, I guess that's kind of good.
One less cable laying around, that's always nice.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No matter how small.
Yeah, exactly right. Alrighty. We'll turn our attention now to the case. So we've just got a few fans to install and move around. Yeah, there's like a low moving over us or something, you were saying. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. 32-inch, $700. What sort of screen?
4K, 144 hertz.
Yeah, yeah, but is it IPS or curved?
Ah.
See, curved sounds like it would be more expensive, but it's not. IPS panels are normally more expensive than the curved ones.
Of these fans, it's so satisfying.
So I'm just installing this reverse fan. It's just going to blow cool air directly onto the graphics card. And then we've got this back fan here to remove.
Are you going to put that one on the bottom? I reckon you should.
the reason why I'm not going to is because the power supply will be face down, so it's just going to be like a fan on top of the back of the power supply.
Oh.
So it won't have any like flow behind it.
Fair enough. Oh.
So it would just make
I
more
can't
noise.
keep this box. No.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh no,
I'm sure you can keep this box,
no,
mate.
it's alright. The customer wants to keep all the boxes. That he wants this one out of all of them because that one's actually.
It's probably not the way he sees it.
Well, his wife or partner or something might find a use for it.
Oh, shit.
There's children, they might find a use for it. Ashley says that's one thing it doesn't tell you about the colours and the panel type.
Ah. Yeah. Okay.
That's
What
interesting.
brand is it?
Do you have a link?
Yeah. Link me. I'll have a look at it. It's a pretty good value 4K 144 hertz monitor. I mean, they're like, there's good deals all the time, but yeah, prices do come down on tech eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to wait your time. Tidy up some of this mess back here.
It says, oh no, not bad, I just found out it's 165 hertz.
Ah, sweet.
Sounds even better.
Yeah. Yeah, although I think you basically, if you've got a 144 hertz panel, you could overclock it to 165 hertz and it'd work. If you can overclock. Sometimes. Some monitors. Ours is 165 hertz, but not normally. It's in the overclock mode. It's 165 hertz. I don't think I've ever used it because there's no way my caveman eyes are going to notice the difference between 144 frames a second and 165 frames a second. So I'm a realist.
Same brand. It's the same brand as our fridge tin.
Oh yeah.
It's curved gaming.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the panels are all coming from the same places.
Well, if they make fridges as well as gaming monitors, then I'm assuming they'd be alright. Our fridge has been running pretty nicely.
Fridge,
That's the only
gaming
thing I
monitors,
can
same
say about
thing,
their
right?
products. That's the only thing I've experienced.
There we go. That looks way neater.
Very nice.
Okay. And yes. Yes. Alright. Power supply time. Comes in its own special carry bag. Not that you're ever gonna like put it back in this bag, but anyway. And then you get this bag here for your excess cables. So we're not gonna need to install all of these cables. This thing will have a heap of cables. So we're going to need one PCIe and two PCIe. Or is this a... Oh no, they're both the same. Yeah, that's okay. We'll use those. Probably right here that a third. We don't need a third. We need one SATA. Need our main ATX power for the motherboard. And then I just need two CPUs. There's a 1 CPU and a 2 CPU. Excellent. And then the rest of these cables can just go back in the bag. And I'll put the other bag inside that bag. And then I will put, what have we got here? Got a 4-pack of SATA cables. I'll put them back in there. Put some extra thermal compound. No. Needs power cable. And I might just leave that there. And I'm sure by the end of the night we might have some more goodies to put in the bag. Now as for our power supply. So we'll take the cables that we do need to install.
Can I have that box?
This box. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's why I asked for this.
Ah. I already got one.
Do you use the long ones or the short ones?
On these, just the little tiny ones. Unless we're screwing into like a case or something.
This is why I don't build the PCs, because I have too many questions.
No, that's why you need to build the PC, so you have less questions. We just need one SATA cable here. 2 for our graphics card. If we need a third, we can do a third. But I'm pretty sure this card just has the 2 8-pins.
Loose.
Yeah, it's not all the way in. You should use this screwdriver. That's the wrong screw. It's also the wrong screw.
I put the ones that I wanted there.
Better?
Mm-hmm. Trying to help you.
No, you're doing alright.
No.
Okay. Things are starting to happen. Alrighty, so we don't have any offsets that we need to change here. Everything is in place. Yeah.
Ashley says, okay, here's a good question. My 32-inch TV I use for my monitors HD, but it reads 1080p and it hurts my eyes every time I keyboard and mouse. But as soon as I back away from the screen with the controller, I'm fine. I hate the fact that all my screen text to my computer is pixelated. Maybe a monitor's time.
Well, HD is 1080p.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 1080p is standard HD these days. It used to be that. It used to be like 720p was HD and then 1080 was like Ultra HD, but now I'm pretty sure we just call HD 1080p. Ultra HD is like 1440 and 4K is 4K. Just realised that I hadn't done all of the bolts up the top here. Them in place, then I can put the dust filter back over the top and then I won't damage it. But yes, once we're done with this, we'll get the board in the case and we're on the home stretch essentially.
Tim,
Yeah.
Ashley says this TV was back from 2010.
This TV was back from 2010. Yeah, so it's going back a fair way there. Jeez, that was a hard bolt to screw in. There we go. Finish with an easy one. Very good. So, I might just get this hard drive in place, just so I get it out of the way. So a good thing about adding a WD drive to your computer is you get to use WD Acronis edition. Sorry, Acronis WD edition. Say it around the right way, Tim. That might be helpful. And so what that allows you to do is make backups of your hard drive. You could have a hard drive full of your data, right? And then you could go buy an exact, like a drive of the same capacity, and you can make an exact image of your drive onto the new drive. So you can make an exact copy of that drive onto another one with just a few clicks of a button. So really good software that you get for free to use with your WD drives. So always beneficial to have at least one WD device in your computer. Then you can at least make a copy, an image I should say, of that drive with just a couple of clicks. You'll always see me install that software into people's computers if they have a compatible drive. Okay, and we don't have any cables that we need to run behind our motherboard or anything like that, because we've got a full-size ATX board in a full-size ATX case, which is essentially ideal. So you don't have to run cables behind the motherboard. It just looks a lot neater when you put a micro ATX board into an ATX case. Okay. So now I'll just get these screws screwed down. Hopefully I won't screw it up.
Straight too soon.
Yep, I screwed it straight up. Oh, look who's surfaced. The big cat.
Just had to one fitting.
Oh, really? So what, he's just coming up here for attention? There we go. Alrighty. That is one board in the case. So now we have a fair bit of RGB to get sorted. Okay. So one downside with this motherboard is only having one 5-volt RGB header. Which is a real pain in the ass. What would be cool is if I could just cut one of the pins off the 12-pin header and then just make it a 5-volt header. Do you reckon that'd work? Don't do that. I'm not asking if it will work. I actually know that it won't work. It's like that Electro Boom guy with his electric guitar. Do you remember that? Yeah, Electro Boom guy who electrocutes himself on YouTube. Makes an electric guitar.
Yeah. I remember that. He's funny. Don't do what he does.
No. Okay. still going to need Oh, nothing. I'm just... Aha. There you are. Going crazy. I'm like, there's one RGB header that I can't see. It's there, but I just can't see it. There we go. Let's just put a little zip tie around. These excess RGB cables. Okay, so we've got a couple more fans that we need to plug in to the motherboard. Oh, duh. There's another fan head down the bottom. I don't even have to worry about running this cable creatively. Sweet as. Alrighty, we've got all of our fans and RGB hooked up. Stash the rest of that SATA cable back there. We don't need all of that. Go. Excellent.
Where's my phone?
go. And we'll install a couple of SATA cables. Go. Now we've got a USB 3.0 front panel connection. Sweet as. Well, it's graphics card time. Alrighty. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Alright.
I like the little blue stripes around in the middle of the fans. That's
Yeah.
nice.
While the Eagle cards are generally not your first preference, especially not for the 3060 and 3060 Ti. The 3080 Ti's, all good, man.
Katie says that's a big regain. It's going to be amazing on the I can't wait for it to start off. Even the case is really nice.
Yeah, this is a great
This is
case.
one of my favourites, I think.
Yeah,
AirTech D-Flop.
D600 Flux.
Yes. DF600 Flux.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cheap for its cost. And for its, like, you know, get all those RGB fans and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. No,
It's got
it's
really good airflow.
it's good. It's a really good value case. If people say to me, "Oh, I don't really have too much of a preference on a case. I just want a good case that's not too expensive," Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully they've got some newer models out by then.
Yes. Oh, they'll probably will. What?
Yeah. Oh, come on, you know they will.
Yeah, I guess. But I didn't even think about, like, 40 series.
Yeah, it'll
Are
be...
they even going to call it the 40 series?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the preliminary stuff about it.
Oh.
It's
How come you didn't show me?
Oh, because I don't think to show you everything I see.
Kind of want to see that. That's interesting.
Oh, they're always planning.
Does it like kind of look like what we've got going on right now?
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's basically a you know, the same. It's like the same silicon design. It's just like the version 2, second generation, where they've like refined a couple of things, but it's not like a the 40 series won't be like a full new, like, won't be as big a deal as the 30 series, if that makes sense. The 30 series represented a huge leap forward, generationally speaking, in terms of what you got. Yep.
Says if it's that case, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Rain has begun.
Yeah.
It's not the split.
There we go.
Let's see how much we actually.
Alright. Well, that is one rig. It's looking nice and tidy.
Don't like too many black rings, but this one is pretty cool. More of a white.
You're a white girl.
Shut up. Actually, kind of take those words on. I hate being called white. Don't call me white. Call me white.
Okay. I need a Windows installation USB. That's always helpful. Well, looks like we've got some RGB lighting firing up there on the motherboard. So, can anyone even see that? You can see it back there. So what do you reckon? Is there a dead part? Nope, it's looking kind of alive. Okay, we detected new processor, data structure, storage space, firmware TPM. If you did not apply a TPM function, please press Y to continue, otherwise please follow the instructions. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's...
Indeed.
And because it's 5900 and a 3080 Ti, it's going to perform fucking mint as well. Okay. So what version do we have here? $2407. Okay. Is there not just a XMP function here? Let's just get this out of the way first. Kobe's just asked, what PC do I have? Well, that's going to be changing pretty soon. So not my case or my graphics card or any of the like auxiliary stuff. All it's going to be changing is the motherboard CPU. We're going to chuck a Z690 Mobo in there, just with DDR4 RAM, and I'm going to chuck a 12700KF in there. Oh, give that one a bit of a push. So now that we've started our Windows install, we can go and plug in our SATA hard drive. Let's just get these cables. Yeah, so Intel have just launched their 12th generation CPUs. So they're actually pretty cool. I really wanted to have them on launch day because I wanted to go live and review the i5 and the i7 because all the focus is going to be on like the 12900K, the i9. The others aren't going to get quite as much press, but I would say that the average person, the average gamer, is probably more likely to buy the i5 or the i7 than the i9, considering the i9's over $1,000. So it's
fucking ridiculous pricing.
It's really good performance though.
Yeah.
So one of the things,
That's what you pay.
yeah, what Intel have done with this new generation, I'll explain why it's different and why they've got sort of so much performance gains with this generation. So you've probably got a Samsung or similar smartphone in your pocket with an ARM chip, and that CPU on that phone will use what's called big little architecture. So they have big power cores and smaller efficiency cores, and this has been standard in mobile processors for a while. Now Intel have brought the concept of big little to desktop computers. So that's how they're different. So basically, let's talk about the i9 for example. So the i9 is going to be a 16 core 24 thread CPU. So that sounds a little bit weird because you'd be expecting to hear like a 16 core 32 thread CPU like what you'd see with the Ryzen 9 5950X. But the thing with the new core architecture is that there are big power cores, and these big power cores are 2 threads. So they're just like ordinary cores as you know them. But then there's the efficiency cores, which are just single threaded cores. So you're getting 8 power cores and 8 efficiency cores. And those 8 power cores have 2 threads, and those 8 efficiency cores have 1 thread. So all up, 16 cores, 24 threads. So that will be the new i9. Almost set a password there when I didn't want to. Okay, let's plug in some internet. So yeah, I should have the new chips to play around with on Monday. So if you're interested in having a look and enjoying, like getting to have a play around with them vicariously through me, because you can join me in the
Can you wait till I get home from work?
possibly, it depends when they rock up. How long I can wait. But yeah, if you want to check them out, I can do all the things that you'd want to do it yourself. You can check it out vicariously through me. Okay. Oh, we don't have... Oh no. Alright. This Armory crate always seems to have problems for me. I'm gonna let it do its thing before I do anything else. Oh, we can do some stuff.
Tim.
Yeah.
I'm contemplating another build probably similar to what you've already supplied. Release, was wondering if the Intel product is competitive with the 5950X.
Yeah, so the 12900K smashes the 5950X. So just yeah. I think when it comes to multi-core, it the 32 threads versus the 24 threads means that the 5950X holds its ground a bit better with productivity, but in terms of gaming performance, it smashes it out of the park. So Intel have had, you know, various setbacks over the last few years, and AMD have just gone from strength to strength. But now we're starting to see a bit like, you know, things have now just gotten interesting again. So I love competition in pretty much every segment. It's a bit of fun, and it's usually a really good thing for the consumer at the end of the day. John says CPU's kind of useless these days for gaming. The higher the resolutions we play. Yeah, that's true. But as our graphics cards and stuff become better and better and better at rendering higher resolution images, then the CPUs will need to get stronger and stronger and stronger to keep up with that level of processing. So yeah, it's always one of those things where it's they kind of go tit for tat. People generally have it in their head, they overthink how much CPU they really need for gaming. So that's a common thing that a lot of people sort of stuff up on. You know, I've seen people like come to me with like a part list and stuff like that, and they'll have something like I don't know, like let's say they had the graphics card was like a GTX 1650 or something like pretty cheap like that, right? And then I have a look at the CPU and they've got like an i7 or a Ryzen 7 or something like that, and it's just like, man, before you worry about that CPU with the high number on it on the box, you should really look at your graphics card, because that's the main thing that's going to dictate how much gaming performance you really have. Still doing its thing. Alrighty, Armory crate installed without crashing.
Tim?
Yeah.
John says, yeah, I don't think the last 2 years I've ever seen my CPU chart more than 10 to 20% usage.
Yep. You know, people really they overcompensate on their CPU in general. You know, like people are like, oh, you know, show them like an i5 or something like that, and it's going to be fine. Like, it's got really good single core performance and all that. It's going to keep up fine with the graphics card in there. And they're like, nah, man, I need an i7. It's like, no, dude, you don't need. You really don't. You really don't. You think you do. You got it in your head that you do, but you don't. Okay, we'll just get those downloading. They're doing their thing. Let's put down a couple of custom desktop icons so we can keep all this nice and organized. Alright, WD Acronis. Okay, so I think we need a new BIOS. Sweet. Alright, let's get the rest of this going on. benchmarks. Alright, let's turn off some of these annoying apps that open up automatically. I'm sure we can decide what we want to use and what we don't want to use. I hate that mail app. It sucks. Alrighty, I think we've got everything we need there. Alright, let's set up MSI Afterburner quickly. Okay. Well, we might go ahead and restart. Yeah. How much would it cost you to have a look at my PC? Well, it depends if what's wrong with it. Send me a message and I'll be able to answer your question a bit better. It all depends exactly what your issue is. I mean, if it's something, if it's really, really simple, I might not even charge you. So, and then if it's going to take me like an hour to fix it, then obviously. No worries, Kobe. Have a good night, man. Come on. Come on. Okay. Whoop. That is a bit strange. It just does not like that. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So we'll get our hard drive set up. There we go. There's our 4 terabyte hard drive there. So there should be a couple of cumulative updates there, yep. There's our memory running at rated speed. There's our 12 core 24 thread CPU and our graphics card, our RTX3080 Ti. This is our new hard drive and our new SSD. Oh. Alrighty, so there's our SSD read and write speeds. And this should be done momentarily. Geez, it takes a long time to download from this. Okay. So now we should be looking pretty good. Oh, and it still wants to do yet another reboot. Good on ya. Oh. Okay. So now we'll be all up to date. Alrighty, so let's have a look. So it's the single core performance here. So right up the top. And like for like, this one here, that'll be with a bit of an overclock applied, no doubt. So yes, and we can, well, we had a problem with MSI Afterburner. Not anymore, it's all good now. Alright, let's just set up our overlay here quickly. Okay. Alright, that's all set up and ready to go. So let's run some benchmarks. So we'll run Heaven here on the out of the box settings. And so this number here below RAM is the frames per second that it's currently running at. So absolutely carving that up. So next one here we run on ultra settings. Final one we run is our 4K benchmark. Alrighty. That's not a bad score. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so this is the final part of the night. This is where we do our stress test. So we're setting this resolution as we see here. I'm going to turn off the overlay there, and we'll put this one down the bottom here. And then over here for Cinebench, so this is where we put the CPU under stress. Oh, so we're going to run a 90-minute stress here. Okay, we're jumping straight up to 90C. What's going on? Now we shouldn't be seeing temp spike up instantly like that. $73, 70 it idled. That's, something's not right here. Okay. Yeah, that is not right. Something's amiss. See what we can figure out here. That is really strange that we're seeing such high temps. Okay. 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 So why are we getting such high temperatures? I think we're gonna have to take this cooler off. Yeah, this is not not what we should be seeing. Yeah, that's odd. So weird though. So this cooler shouldn't have any issues with this CPU. So okay. It's kind of doing my head in, to be honest. Like, I'm getting pretty tired. There we go. All right. Let's see if that made any difference. Doesn't look like it. I think it's made a few degrees difference, but not a great deal. I might have to have another look at this one tomorrow, I think. Just do a bit of extra investigating, because those temperatures seem just a little bit too high for me. And something seems like it's amiss. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a play with this one tomorrow as well. That's always fun. Straight up to 90 degrees there. Yeah, well, it's definitely on there. I've mounted it twice now. So yeah, still seems a little bit warm. Alrighty. I think that would probably be it for the night, I think. Just because, yeah, I can't keep going forever. I've got to sleep at some stage. So, nah, that's alright. Well, I might do a follow-up tomorrow, and yeah, I've got some other stuff to do as well, so yeah, catch me tomorrow. I'm not sure whether I'll have another one on tomorrow night or not. It just depends. There's a couple that are up in the air at the moment, so it just depends whether anyone finalises their PC build, whether I've got one on tomorrow night or not. But if not, looks like I'll definitely be back tomorrow during the day at some stage with a follow-up on this one, and also a follow-up on another one as well. So, alright, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.